Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all so much for being here. Happy Wednesday. Make sure you fill out the Google form so that we could split us all up into our different sessions. But before we get into that, we have some announcements, all that fun stuff, fun stuff. So first and foremost, hopefully you guys have all seen, fingers crossed, so that we all paid attention, but the Toyota Scholarship is due Monday. So they did extend it for that lovely time. There's some more scholarships out there up to date, just as an FYI, like the Edison Scholarship, like the Elks Lodge Scholarship, which is a local scholarship, the Equitable Excellence, the GE Ronald Reagan, the Jack Kent Cook. There's so many scholarships out there. So many opportunities are just popping up in and out and everywhere. So just keep an eye out on your emails for that. This Saturday, there's another lovely opportunity that's available for everyone, which let me showcase for you. It is the 9th annual Boys and Girls Club Teen Summit. You may ask yourself, like, what's Teen Summit? What's that kind of all about? It's essentially Saturday in which all of your teens, typically you would go to a place, but because of COVID and everything, it's going to be virtual. So it's a time frame in which all of you are able to come together virtually and discuss different issues, different techniques, different resources out there. It's kind of a time frame for you to gather with Boys and Girls Club, other Boys and Girls Club, other students in the LA area, and just talk about issues that you guys are facing, talk about things that you guys want to talk about, explore, kind of build upon. So it gives you that lovely opportunity to kind of discuss, go through it. They also have great guest speakers, they have experts, they have little workshops on skills, leadership, and how to kind of, just put your best foot forward, how to pursue that career pathway. It's a really unique opportunity that not everyone can kind of add to the resume. So if it's something that maybe you feel your academic resume needs something else, or you want to just take advantage of an opportunity to just check it out, see if it's something that best fits you, because it's a great way to network, connect with new people, meet new opportunities, and this is a great thing for you. The 9th Annual Teen Summit, it's super easy to register. All of you guys should be able to do it. You just have to go to Great Futures LA. If I've ever done collab or anything like that, it's the same website in which we join for it. It's a great partnership, mentorship, and opportunity to really kind of blow up and just explore avenues and opportunities and options out there for you. So our 9th Annual Teen Summit, again, is this Saturday from 9 to 3. And it's going to be virtual, of course. You can also come view it. I know some of the club sites are doing like a little viewing session, so you can come and just do a session, check it out. So that's also an opportunity and an option. So by all means, this Saturday, keep your eyes peeled and sign up. Fun times, fun times. The registration link is going to be coming up. Make sure you guys are also filling out our Google Docs so that we can split you up appropriately into the proper rooms, make life a little bit easier. Drop it in the chat, your name, club site, everything in between, so that we can help you out with all of that jazz as we talk about all the different concepts. I believe for our seniors, we are talking about making the most of your college applications, because we are in the first November. That means we can start submitting all of our applications as of November 1st. So it's now the season to really just start diving in, polishing, making them look beautiful, getting them reviewed by your staff at the Boys and Girls Club, because we have those crates and baskets so that you guys can drop them in. You get reviewed, get extra edited, just to make sure that they're, prime, perfect, beautiful, gorgeous applications. As well as, since it is November, that also means it is the kickoff of our What Am I Thankful For contest, which we're going to talk about more for with the underclassmen, but just an annual contest that is available to every single one of you to be able to participate. We have great prizes, which will be announced at the day of our Thanksgiving dinners that all of our club sites will have. So keep an eye out, hear out for that.
Everybody in that back table, get away from that, get off that table. Y'all find another seat.
There you go. That's right. Everyone in that back table, get out. You heard him. You heard him. You heard him. Everywhere. Every back table at all the clubs. But yeah, exciting stuff. How's everyone's day? I don't know. I feel like it's been a long time since I've been here, even though I've been here every day. Almost. Fun times, fun times. Fun times. Fun, 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 fun. But, lovely times, lovely seasons. Are you guys liking the new weather? It's like really cold at night, so I like it because, now I'm getting my blankets. Now I actually cover myself with a blanket. It feels really great, letting in the chill and the frost. I'm enjoying that. Ooh, that's right. Mariah Carey's already popping up everywhere. No, I agree. Let's just skip over everything. Let's just go straight to winter. Just go straight to, the end of the year holidays and festivities. But yeah,
No, let's leave Christmas music for Christmas time. It's still November.
okay. Who can name a Thanksgiving song? What's a November song that, we should all be bopping to then? Ooh. But that means there's a market. That means there's a market for a Thanksgiving song. So we could fulfill that market. Right? If we all work together, we all write one word to the song, we could create a Thanksgiving song. And then we could become like Mariah Carey, where it just, it's the season where we just start making a lot of money. Honestly, if you guys are down, Oh, el pollito pío? Maybe. Almost turkey. I like it, I like it, I like it. But please make sure you guys are dropping down so that we can split you up. And then once I have the thumbs up, I think we'll split up into our rooms and we'll get down to business. Fun times. Fun, fun, fun times. And then for all of you guys out there, get the jitters out. Pay attention for this one because I'm going to be asking you guys questions. I hope you guys answer. Like, honestly, because I'm going to be asking you guys. So it's going to be like a team effort kind of day. So we have to all work together. That's fun. Of course. And then, this is team effort so that we can start writing the song together, honestly. Because next week, I expect that we all have our first draft. We each have a verse. You know what? There we go. We can each have a verse. All right, then. So with that being said, keep thinking about it. Our breakout rooms are ready, so I believe we are ready to make their transition and start into workshop. So as you guys know the drill, unless you're new here, the window will pop up for you to join the underclassmen room. Seniors, we are going to stay out here. If you are an underclassman and you need to be in a room, the person that you want to message is Yesenia Aguilar / Andres. That's who you want to message to let them know to switch you into the appropriate room. Because, if I'm presenting, I can't really move you. Sorry. Can't really see what's happening. But, fun times. People are being moved. I see people disappear. Yay! So, hello, seniors. Hello. It is now the time frame. We're going to be talking about making the most of our illustrious college applications. So we're going to work together, all of us together, and we're going to put on the hats of us being a university and an institution, and we're going to examine some applications and make the call. Would we admit this person? Would we not admit? What's our vibe? Are we not feeling their vibe? Are we like, not for me? Are we like, oh my gosh, yes, we should totally have them? And just kind of put that thought process so that when you review your applications or as you sit down with the case manager, it kind of makes sense where we're either coming from, or even for yourself to kind of give you that third perspective to be like, oh, wow, like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Oh, yeah, I should edit this. Oh, I need to talk about this in one of my statements. X, Y, B, and C. So within your illustrious email, hopefully we should all have this. I'm just going to do here is this nice little applicant ranking form. We are going to be going through 3 different applications, and we're going to go through all of kind of the forms, essentially how you would admissions representative. So you can kind of fill that out, give your notes about when it comes to their academics, their resume, their personal statement, recommendations, everything in between, so that we can have what our final admissions decisions would be. We can only accept 1 student. And I'm kind of interested in how we're feeling, how we're thinking, what we're vibing in. So I'm going to ask you guys, what you're thinking, what the thought process is, and everything in between. And then again, remember, if you're not in the appropriate breakout room, you want to make sure you send a little message to our host, which is Miss Yesenia Aguilar / Andres, so that they can move you over properly. Of course. So now, without further ado, let's get into what we're talking about today. Beautiful. So making the most of my application. How fun. So like I just said, for a moment, we're gonna imagine, we are together, BGC University, and we are here working together to decide who is going to be accepted into our institution. We prioritize resources for them to opportunities. We want to help them secure their degree, their plan for life after high school. We're often in comparison to schools like USC, Rice. We're just that awesome of an institution. And together, we're going to make the choice to accept, deny, or waitlist, or essentially which of our students or applicants we are going to select. Us as an institution are a very highly selective institution. We want to make direct impact with our offer a multitude of different majors, programs that engage in students, various opportunities, make them feel secure in the path that they choose. Our counselors are very happy and willing to help out their students, and our goal is to help understand students their pathway through higher education so that by the time they graduate, they have their plan for life after high school. Sounds so familiar, right? Hopefully it sounds very familiar. So before we begin, we need to focus on our applications to be in a whole holistic approach. So what does that mean? Is that we're examining every single factor that these students submit when they're applying to our institutions, and we're delegating and looking through it to make sure that, it fits what we're kind of looking for, fits with the vibe of our institution. We're looking at their 9th through 12th grades and GPA. We're looking at the amount of rigor they've gone through, their responsibilities and extracurricular activities, their statements, and their letters of recommendation. This should all sound very familiar because it's the exact same format in which private institutions, UCs, are examining and evaluating different types of applications.
It's quick. You just go.
So, if this doesn't look familiar, we're going to have our 13 factors of comprehensive review, very similar to what we have for our UC system. We're looking at that grade point average, performance in courses, how many honors they've taken, how they are within our local area. We're going to kind of put that in the back burner. Academic opportunities in schools, outstanding performance in one area, accomplishments, participation, involvement, special talent, skills, recent improved grades, performance, everything in between. We're looking at it all to make our decision for who is going to be accepted into our institution. The way the system works, and this is across the board, wholeheartedly, honestly, because this is straight from these private schools, trainings, consortiums that we go through as trainings throughout our college-bound careers, because we love getting all the resources, information to best pass it on to you, is that we don't really do a subtracted value. So when anyone's reviewing your application, it's about added value. It's never about negative or subtraction. It's whether there was zero value, so nothing was added to getting to know you, or nothing was added when it comes to your admission statement, or whether you got some added information. The whole point when it comes to reviewing this application is whether you gained more information about the student or whether there was a missed opportunity, whether they could have given you more information, but unfortunately it just didn't have it, so you didn't gain anything. It's literally just like a flat zero or kind of like a neutral space because you just didn't gain anything. The whole point within this application, through every step of it, from your academics, from your extracurriculars, from your personal statements, is what's that added value? What am I learning about you? What did I just gain or understand about you that now is reflective on who you are and whether this really is the best fit for you? Every admissions person is trained that they assume a single thing about the person. So keep that in mind. As we look through these applications, we cannot assume a single thing. We just have to go based on the information that's given to us, based on the information that I give you, based on the information that we look through. We just have to take that information as it is. We can't assume like, oh, what if this happened in their life, or maybe that's what's going on. No. It's just you either told me or you didn't. If you didn't tell me, I can't assume, I just don't know. If you tell me, then of course I know, and again, that's whether it's the added value or no added value. So it's only based on the information that's readily available to us. So what is that readily available information? When it comes to our college applications, this is essentially what's available to that reader or to that person who's looking through your application. They have a little information known as the curriculum of your high school, especially when you're thinking of private schools. They have like this little kind of handout, and it kind of gives you the context of your high school, letting them know about how many A through G courses are available, how many honors classes are available, how many students are in free reduced price lunch, how many students are within that GPA, what students score on average on a PSAT or an SAT. So it kind of gives them that contextual background of how you stand as a student when it comes to the school as a whole. Then, of course, we have your transcript. So that's, of course, your academic journey. We have the application, which is a little bit more of that generic information for yourself. Letters of recommendation, which, again, for the UCs, if they do ask it, like UCLA, UC Berkeley, they may ask you for that additional letter of recommendation. If not, totally fine. They just may be on the fence for you and may ask for more information. For sure, something that you're happening when it comes to private institutions, or if you're doing EOP for the California State University system, letters of recommendation play a huge role. Your personal statements, and of course, your academic and work resume. Your application, all of that information is broken up into kind of 4 different categories, or kind of 4 different kind of components when you're really piecing it together when it comes to a puzzle. Your academics, how involved are you in your community, what type of voice or personality you have, and whether or not you have that institutional fit, whether it's going to fit for an institution, which is BGC University. And it's academics, what can we really look at, or what can we really kind of dive a little bit deeper into? We're looking at the curriculum, the school you attend, the class rigor, the course load, what's available to you, how many classes, your transcript. We're looking at both your weighted, your unweighted GPA, trends within your GPA, so whether you're consistently at an A, B student, or maybe 9th grade you started off with C's and D's, then you went to B's and A's, then you went to straight A's. Does your GPA support the story or kind of support the journey of what you're going through? If you're consistently with that A-B kind of format, does that GPA follow through? And things to highlight. What specialty classes did you take? What rigor or success did you have? How was your engagement in the classroom? Academics outside of the classroom, what was your driving interest? Did you take college courses? Did you use the resources that were available to you within your school, or did you find things that are outside of the school? So that's kind of the information that we can kind of ask ourselves and kind of really think about when we're looking at this. Even within simple sections, like within your academics, or kind of like a little example, when you have that academic history, or just when you're putting it on your applications, have those, what's it called again? Oh my gosh. Additional comment section when you're doing your academics. It's just kind of providing that little information that maybe isn't available, or maybe not everyone knows, such as like the engineering academy is limited to 25 students. So if your school has an engineering academy, the fact that you were selected out of 25 or out of 170 applicants, that's impressive. The fact that you're required to take certain courses, or the fact that certain things are available. Maybe your school doesn't offer you or allow you to take as many APs unless you get that teacher recommendation, which is why you're limited on the amount of courses you can take. Maybe your school isn't going to let you explore or see different avenues of what's going on. Or maybe you have a situation where you have maybe a lot of absences, maybe a lot of D's in your application. That's also a chance for you to kind of explore and kind of explain why you have those absences. So there's 2 additional comment sections within your applications. It's really important to kind of know what goes where. And when it comes to after that academic history, that's a great time to either talk about how your school kind of is, whether they're preventing you from taking certain classes, or whether you have to compete a lot just to get into a magnet program or get into different types of schools, or how competitive it is, or what's required. Or the fact that maybe you have to get up at 7 in the morning to do a 0 period, to do different types of things, or that you're in school until 7 o'clock. Or whether something happened within your life that made you kind of fall behind, whether there was a death, something going on in your livelihood, an accident, something that kind of forced you to pull away from school and focus on what real life issues were happening, and that's why you didn't see your typical trend. So if you're consistently an A-B student, all of a sudden you're getting C's and D's, oh, something must have happened, or ooh, something's going on with that, or mentally, or something's happening that's causing them to kind of, change their typical trends. Especially if you see them have those C's and D's and all of a sudden get back to the regular trend. That's kind of a question that you kind of ask yourself. So you want to make sure it's answered within that academic history or that kind of additional comments section. But aside from that, I know talking a lot about grades, academics, all that kind of fun stuff, We also got to remember that we are more than our GPA. We have to remember that there's so many other factors that I kind of look forward to and to kind of look and expand. So yes, GPA or grades kind of open that door, but of course what kind of seals the deal is what you talk about in your extracurricular, what you're passionate about, what personal statements kind of showcases about you, yourself, your interests, your passions, your ambitions, what you want to accomplish in life. That's a big thing. That isn't anywhere else in the application other than your personal statements, to be able to talk about what your goals, your aspirations, and what you want to accomplish out of your education at these institutions, at the CSU, at a private college or institution. That's your chance. We want to see how you push yourself beyond just the normal. Did you take leadership? Did you take initiative? Have you kind of created your own thing? Have you kind of followed what you love doing, and how you... The key thing with that, about how you follow what you love doing and how you plan on continuing that, is about seeing whether you take that initiative to follow your passions. If you feel like you don't have the resources at your school, what are you doing to make it accessible to yourself? Whether that's going out to drive 30 minutes or 40 minutes to take a dance class, or creating a dance club at your school, or going to your local Boys and Girls Club to utilize the resources there. How are you really committing to that passion, to what you want to accomplish in the future? And of course, what that kind of looks like when it comes to that community engagement, academic, how those other factors come into play, is that commitment to leadership, commitment to passion, exploration, community change, validating your experience, going above and beyond in one subject, showcasing that that's something that you're truly passionate in. Especially if you're talking about something like you love something that you want to see yourself doing, or an engineering major, showcasing that you've kind of gone beyond just taking like a math class, but you're kind of pushing yourself to kind of learn a little bit more about what that class has to offer, what that kind of looks like. Whether that's in clubs, organizations, after school activities, volunteering, internships, research opportunities, responsibilities, summer programs. Those are all the opportunities to really showcase your engagement, how you're affecting your community, how you're kind of building that leadership, and how that kind of builds and impacts your academic resume. Because that's what it's going to come down to. We have that GPA, now we have that academic resume, and now it's kind of learning a little bit more. It's the chance for you to really spotlight what you're so proud of, what you've really had an opportunity to accomplish, and really have that success in life. Whether that's within that time frame of your 4 years in high school, within that commitment, whether it's a state, national leadership, within both the UC, CSU, within that, well, maybe not so much in the CSU, but for sure in that UC or Common App, your academic resume plays a huge part because it really shows that commitment, passion, and drive for the future. And of course, you have your personal statement, which is where you really get to showcase your voice, your thoughts, your experiences, your letters of recommendation, supplements, letters of rec, interviews. You learn about your personal qualities, your attributes, your dedication, why you're applying to the institution, whether you've had that research, what your background, your identity, why you have done or pushed through these 4 years of college, and what you hope to gain out of it. What do you hope to accomplish out of it? That's the whole kind of point and the context with that. Showcasing your voice. And of course, finally, of those 4 categories, you have your institutional fit. Do we have space for you in our program or major? Do you know what we offer or why you want to be at our school, especially at private institutions? That's a constant thinking. Why do you want to be at our school? Why are you even applying? Do you even know what you could potentially accomplish or what you might gain from being here? What are you going to add to our campus? In what way? What are you bringing to the table, or what do you hope to bring to the table to continue flourishing and thinking? Those are all things your readers, us as admissions officers today, are thinking about. How can you add the school? What was that journey? What are you passionate about? What do you hope to accomplish in the future? What are you dedicated to? And then, of course, there's little demographics information, which is something that I'm going to bring up a little bit later, but certain contextual information is always great to know, understanding like your age, your gender, the education, the area, the neighborhood where you're coming in, the income level. That's especially when it comes to like private institutions. That's something that I consider, because does that mean you have access to resources? Does that mean if you live in a low-income area where not many people are pursuing higher education, but you're traveling 10 miles, 20 miles to go to a school to give you more resources, that's kind of a little highlight to show that you have that dedication to higher education, or that you're pursuing more knowledge, or that you're pursuing more information. As well as the context of the neighborhood, the distance from the school, first generation, resources available to you, whether you have access to a Boys and Girls Club or other resources around you. That's demographic information kind of comes in and supports you. So before we begin, friendly reminders, we can only evaluate based on the context of one school. So what that always means is that if you're applying from San Pedro High School, from Polas, and from Harbor Teacher Prep, we cannot compare the schools because each school is very different and unique in its own way. The people that you are kind of against, or people you're applying to, or what they're comparing you to, is just that foundational information, which is that context of your institution. It's only based on what's available to you at San Pedro High School. It's not trying to say like, oh, well, how come you didn't take 30 APs at Polas when you're limited to they only offer like maybe 15 versus San Pedro offering so many more. So again, it's only in the context of your institution. When your applications are being reviewed, whoever your reader is only reading applications from that school. They're not reading from like multiple different schools to compare, contrast. It's always just from that one school. Remember to write down / ask yourself questions about the applicant as we review it. So, as we're going through things, if you have a question or if you have something that you're like, oh, how come they didn't do this, or how come this isn't happening? 9 times out of 10, the person who's reading your application is thinking the exact same thing, or someone's going to come up with those minds. So you want to make sure that as you review your application or as you review it with your case manager, as questions come up, that you take that time to really kind of answer those questions. Again, remember, we cannot make any assumptions, and just take notes as we go through these applications. See what you like, see what you didn't like, see what kind of stood out to you, and see what kind of was like, that's not for me. I wouldn't do that. So, are you guys ready? Yeah? No? Hopefully. Remember, you guys gotta talk. You can't just be in silence. I finished. Now we're gonna review our applications. So let's meet our applicants. So like I mentioned earlier, we have this ranking form. Our 3 applicants are Joseph, Yasmin, and Larry. These are the 3 people that we're comparing. We're going to see their applications, what they kind of wrote, and it's going to make that decision to submit to our institutions. Please, 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 if you guys can, pull it up, fill it out so that you can turn it into your case manager. That can put you into a drawing, one of our lovely golden tickets. Again, golden tickets means an opportunity for us to be able to pay for one of your college applications. So if you guys have this filled out nicely, beautifully, I'd love to hear it with some great, great, great thoughts, feedback, as well as today. Great, great, great stuff. So for our application sample, we have 3 students. Remember, we're only being compared for the same schools. Unfortunately for this one, I did pull from 2 different schools. It's okay, it's okay. Just to kind of give you some context or kind of give you just a little kind of perspective, but for pretend purposes, let's all just assume that they went to the same school. Let's just also assume that we all went to the same school, and let's compare and contrast and see how they added value to their application, how they kind of gained to their application. Because at the end of the day, that's how it kind of looks like. When your readers are applying or looking through your applications, they get all this information to see what that kind of student has gone through. I didn't replicate all of this information, I'm not going to lie to you, but there's additional information that they can kind of see. A little bit about the applicant, whether they have both parents, whether they're first generation, how much money they're making, their family size, whether they're applying for EOP, and of course context information like I was mentioning earlier about your high school. California is an urban public school, 600 grads per year, so what's the size of your school? How many A through G courses are offered? How many AP/honors courses are available? How many complete the A through G? How many are taking AP tests and earning a score or higher? So that's all additional information that when people are reviewing your application for these schools, they're gonna have to build that context. So if you're taking more than the average AP or honors courses, or if you're taking, your school offers 33 and you're taking 15, or if you're taking 20, that's already something that kind of stands out to be like, oh, they're pushing beyond what the average is. Or if they have multiple tests with scores of a 4 or 5, that's also kind of stands out. You know, how many are first generation? How many are eligible for free reduced price lunch? All information that they kind of get when it comes to reviewing your application. So let's meet our people. We have Joseph. So Joseph is interested in dentistry. They're majoring or they're applying as a biology major. Fun, 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 fun. Average GPA for Joseph for 9th through 12th grade is a 3.84. on trend, or how their kind of GPA kind of looks like, is that they are consistently getting A's and B's. Ever since ninth grade, they've been consistently getting A's and B's. They've been taking honors classes, AP classes since freshman year. Their school is very limited, so they go to the Port of Los Angeles High School. So does Yasmin. Everyone goes to the same school. We're going to pretend that. The amount of honors in AP courses, they've taken 14 honors in AP courses. Again, this is only counting for full year courses. So that means these are courses that last a full semester, a full year. So that's how many courses that Joseph is taking. And he is ranked 18 out of 210. Fun stuff. Now we have Yasmin. She is interested in becoming a physical therapist. So she's applying to our institution as a kinesiology major. Her GPA is a 3.65, 9 through 12 weighted. Again, consistent with A's and B's. She doesn't really have as many honors courses. She didn't start taking honors courses until maybe her junior year. For her first year, she kind of had to do some remediation to build upon her English and math. So she wasn't able to take honors courses until 11th, 12th grade. She's taken about 5 honors in AP courses, and she's ranked 31 out of 210. And of course, our final applicant is Larry. He's a computer engineering major. He has a GPA of a 3.5, 9 through 12 weighted. He starts off with B's and C's and then a few A's, but then midway through 10th grade, he gets nothing but C's and D's. But in his junior year, he got straight A's, so he kind of had that moment where it kind of went down, or maybe school got a little hard for him. Kind of, bumped back up. Or like something happened within that time frame. He's taken about 23 honors and AP courses, and he is ranked 96 out of 126 students. Fun times. These are all of our students. This is their kind of foundational academic information. So, given that information, what's something that we learned about our students? What's something that we kind of just gained about learning about them? Anyone want to share? Anyone want to talk? Put it in the chat. No stressors. No. Anyone want to share what they kind of first impressions of what they think of our students? Are you guys there? Did you guys disappear? Probably. Right? They all have some good GPAs. Nice. Solid stuff. They've done well in school. One thing for me is that they're all STEM majors. That's something interesting. So that already kind of gives like, ooh, math and science heaviness. Yeah, there we go. So, this is kind of the foundation. Kind of get to know them a little bit more. Let's kind of keep it out. There we go. So now let's kind of look at their resume and see what else they've kind of done within these years. So let's start off with Joseph. So remember, Joseph, trying to go into dentistry, biology major. There we go. So this is what his kind of resume kind of looks like. You can see he's taken a lot of AP and honors classes like we talked about. You can kind of see he's even done some college classes. He's done an internship. So he's done 120 hours internship. He's worked at the Toberman Neighborhood Center. He's done varsity baseball, basketball, so he's a student athlete. Cool. He's done some volunteer experience. He has a lot of volunteering in here. You can see he's done dental shadowing. That's a huge additive when it comes to your applications. If you have even any volunteering, any shadowing in something that you're passionate about or that major that you're interested in, that's a huge kind of bump up or a huge little plus or added value to know that you've had some hands-on experience. So he's helped with procedures, cleaning. He's seen the tooth extractions. So I can kind of feel confident that he kind of knows what's going on. He's done 7 Cups online therapy. Cool. He's been supportive with emotional things. He's been supportive with psychology, helping people pass. He's done a summer experience, so summer junior recreation. He's helped out volunteering. So he's done a lot of volunteer service. So he's helped out at Alhambra Operation Santa. He's done basketball field beautifications, 4th of July celebrations, and for his grades, he's had principal honors roll. Cool stuff. Nice stuff. Cool. So that's all fun stuff. So athlete, what I gained from this is that, he's an athlete. He's kind of been participating in athlete consistently. He started off in JV. Now he's gone to varsity basketball. He's done work experience, so he kind of knows what that kind of looks like. He's done dental shadowing, and he does a lot of community service. So he likes helping out his community, helping support out, and of course, academics. Now let's look at Yasmin. So Yasmin has experience with the Boys and Girls Club College Bound program, so she talks about that. Talks about what she's done in College Bound. Okay. She talks that she's a member of Keystone. Okay, teen outreach, social media representative, so ANCRO secretary, so she has some leadership there. She helps make flyers. Okay, so she has responsibilities. She does the Power of the Pen program. So you can see she gets help. She uses the program College Bound, and she is part of some of their programming. Okay. She does scholarship power hour. So she's working on scholarships. So that's a big factor for her. She's constantly working on scholarships, or she's going to programming to help support her with scholarship applications. She's exploring career applications. She does case management. Okay. She's done a senior retreat, so she's very heavily invested in higher education, getting college ready, just kind of preparing herself for the future. Keystone Conference, looking at that, so she's very committed in the programs that she's a part of. Very active. Pathways to employment, mock interviews, so she's kind of had that preparation. She's done National Signing Day. She's done Fun Fridays or events at the Boys and Girls Club. She's done Shutdown and Applies, college classes at the Boys and Girls Club, so she's very active at the Boys and Girls Club. Member of the Month, Keystone Silver Charter. Oh, she also does cheerleading. Christian athlete, so she's also an athlete. She does clubs at school too, so she doesn't just do things outside of school, she's also doing things inside of school. Social justice. Okay. Oh, nice little awards. So she has CSF, Scholarship Federation, Most Committed Athlete, Best Attitude Awards. So, kind of sportsmanship, kind of leadership. Nice stuff. More community service, women empowerment, college classes. She does a lot of volunteering, so she has weekend wellness. She has a school supply drive, Cabrillo Beach cleanup. Thank you, healthcare workers. Valentine's Day fundraiser. Oh, she also does employment history, so she's done babysitting. Oh, and she's worked too. Nice. She worked at Cali Tea, fun times. Barista. Nice. So, remember, Yasmin was, someone who started off a little rough academically, but you can see that she's very committed to her extracurricular activities. She has a lot of them. But each one that she joins, she participates very actively. She does a lot of responsibilities with them. As well as she even works. So that's another kind of added benefit that, they're very consistent with what she kind of applies to or what she kind of connects with, as well as, she's also balancing work. She's also balancing a job. She's also balancing clubs inside of school, outside of school. So, she has a lot on her plate. She's not just doing school, but she's a lot is going on in her plate. And of course, we have Larry. So Larry's getting an associate's degree. Wow, that's a little fun. Ooh, knows computer language. That's really good because especially, again, remember this is related to Larry's major. So the fact that he knows Python, JavaScript, C++, Lua scripting, UI, web development, Microsoft Office, really cool. He works at Code Ninjas, so he knows how to kind of develop websites, teach classes, help with computer science, so he knows how to kind of teach it, work with it, knows the coding languages, knows how to help others. He's done Legi School, Civics Institute, and computer literacy. Okay, maybe not as much variety or not as much, but you can see that he's very committed to that one pathway. So he's very committed to that computer science pathway. Very, very committed to like STEM, computer, science, technology. That's what he's really kind of diving into. Any thoughts so far before we go on to our prompt? How are you guys feeling? Are you liking any of the kids? Is there someone where you're like, ooh, I'm liking this person so far. Ooh, this person kind of stands out for me. Or are we kind of like, not yet, I need more. What are we thinking? How are we feeling? Yes, I legit goes down. Okay. Joseph. All right. All right. All right. I like it. Oh, I like that. I mean, last two had a lot. They're very seriously committed individuals. It seems like you guys like Yasmin because she has a lot of extracurricular activities. That's right. Yasmin was piling it on. She said, I'm gonna give you everything. If you're gonna give me the opportunity, I'm gonna let you know I took all of the advantages of everything I could. Love that. I think that they're very committed. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I feel it. I feel it. So now let's get to know them a little bit more and let's hear some of their stories. So we have our personal statements, which is the time where we get to speak from our voice, right? That's our time to really let us know and let you know from our personality. So the prompt that they're answering, because I wasn't going to give you all prompts because then we'll be here forever. And again, I want to be conscientious of our time. I want to make sure that you guys, can enjoy and do things and sit down with your case managers, start planning out when to review your apps. So the prompt that they all answered was describe the most significant challenge you have faced. Sorry. And the steps you have taken to overcome this challenge. How has this challenge affected your academic achievement? I know this is a very popular question that a lot of us love answering. A lot of us kind of go for it. So maybe, you'll hear some things or hear some concepts that you're like, oh, that's a little different. Or maybe I didn't think about that. Or maybe you're like, ooh, that wasn't good. I'm not a fan of that. So, let's get into it. Ooh, too far. Oh no, I went right. So this time we're going to switch it up and we're going to start off with Yasmin. Does anyone want to read for me? Anyone with confidence want to read Yasmin? Or are we not there? Are we not that confident yet? No. That's okay. I feel it. Think about it. Think about it because we have two other questions to read. I want you guys to come up with confidence. Come out with that pride. So I'll read this one. To start it off. So I'm Yasmin. So in sophomore year, I was the flyer of my cheerleading team, and we were doing a stunt where I was tossed in the air and performed a front flip. I did not follow through with the flip and landed on my elbow. Eee, that does not sound good. I ended up shattering my elbow and needed surgery. Ooh, that's very not good. This whole situation left me with the decision whether or not I wanted to continue cheerleading, stop because of the fear of potentially having another injury, or continue something that I have loved since I was little. Based on my experience, my health mattered more. At the time, I felt depressed because I could not participate in an activity that made me feel whole inside. Cheerleading was a part of my daily routine for 2 years. Because of my decision, I was open to a new world of opportunities to explore. Now I had the time to further my academics with the college courses offered at my high school and challenge myself to make sure I was capable of handling college coursework. I joined a program at the Boys and Girls Club, Keystone Elite, and it has changed my life. OMG! I have volunteered weekly and devoted my time to helping out around the club and hosting events for teens. I have learned how to lead a group of individuals and has opened my eyes to how important and rewarding it is to give back to your community. From Keystone, I have been given many opportunities to benefit my future, such as receiving a job at the Boys and Girls Club. Although cheerleading was a big part of my life in the beginning of high school, I learned that it is okay to step away from something you love to encounter new opportunities that will give you the same fulfillment. I discovered that seeing what is out there beyond your interests may benefit you more than you may know. In college, I will take advantage of all the opportunities I am giving as they will help me reach my full potential. Ooh. Okay, so what are some things that we feel added value or some things that kind of stood out from just reading this personal statement? What did we learn more about Yasmin? What was something that, we're like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. This is a little interesting. I know, I like it. Keystone for the win. Keystone's for sure in there. Keystone, Boys and Girls Club is also in there. College Bound, slightly in there. Keystone means a lot to her. Okay, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Anything else that we learned? Anything else that kind of stood out from this application? Not this application, from this personal statement. So, I'm gonna let this person in. Something for me, very devoted. I like that. I like it. She was a cheerleader, right? We learned that she was a cheerleader. We saw in her resume. She found another interest outside of cheer. She's giving back to her community. Love it. Love it. Love it. And I like bringing up that point that she was a cheerleader. So we saw it in her resume. She wrote that she was a cheerleader, right? That she used to do it. But now through her personal statement, I know how much it meant to her. She's been cheerleading for a long time. Her history as a cheerleader. We learned how she's willing to step back. I love that. Great job, Joshua. Great, great, great job. Great, great, great job. She's able to keep going despite not being able to cheerlead anymore. She's able to kind of persevere. We saw that she has that perseverance. Things didn't work out, or maybe she had to give up. She kind of pushed through and came through. You heard her obstacle. She came over that obstacle. That obstacle for her was having to give up something that, you think is super important to. In a way, that's it shows great leadership because it also shows kind of like making an adult decision, right? Which is kind of something scary because we're all becoming adults. But it's, taking something serious and being able to make that decision to either walk away from something you love and hope that something happens. And it found out with her that, walking away truly became a blessing. She discovered something totally new. She has this new mindset. And that's, great things that she's talking about. We learned a new mindset. We learned more about her. We learned that she had something she was passionate about since she was young, but now has had to flip the script and found something new that she's really passionate about. Something that she loves. She found Keystone, a new organization. She found helping others, that she likes doing that. She likes helping out people. We also find that this time when she gave up cheerleading from her transcript is about the same time in which she starts pushing herself to do college classes, honors classes, AP classes. So now it's making sense why there's that switch, why there's that motivation. She's now motivated to pursue other interests and to kind of keep going through. So, I'm liking it. I'm liking the vibes. Liking the vibes very, very much. So now let's hear about Joseph and how he answered this prompt. Again, anyone want to read? No stressors, no pressure.
Can I read?
Wow, go ahead, Brenda. You go to the Wilmington site, don't you? Or am I tripping?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, I'm from the Wilmington site.
Okay.
Okay, so for Joseph, a significant obstacle I have dealt with all my life is my family's limited income. Throughout my life, my dad always had to work long hours, and my mom had to pick up a job to help provide for my 4 brothers. Recently, my mom's employer passed away, and my dad was forced to take up a second job to cover what my mom was previously earning. My dad's long working hours have always made me dismayed, because I would not be able to see my dad for as many as 3 days. Many problems would cause disputes between my parents and would affect my brothers and I. This affected my academic achievement because I would not be able to focus on my schoolwork because I was worried about my family's inability to make ends meet. I felt hopeless as I was able to help my family economically. I did not want my parents to fight over money as it created disunity. Therefore, as a young kid, my dad and mom would always tell me to work hard in school so I could achieve my goals and aspirations. I always kept this in mind when I was doing homework, studying, or while I was training for sports, because they told me education could secure a better future for me. Although I wasn't able to get many things I asked for, I quickly learned to be grateful for food, a bed, and loving parents. My parents' advice taught me to put my full effort into whatever I had to do because through this effort, it creates a greater chance to reach your goals.
Nice. Great job, Brenda. Nice. Shout out. I'm gonna send you a gift card. I promise. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna send you a gift card. No, thank you. I appreciate that. So great. Now, what do you guys feel? What are we thinking? How do we feel about this statement? What did we learn about Joseph? What do we feel? What do we learn? What are we thinking? I like that. Joseph's very resilient. What else did we learn about Joseph? How do we feel about Joseph? What do we gain? What's something that we now learned about him that we didn't know before? Very motivated. Nice. You know, we have that added information of we're learning a little bit more of how his family life is kind of looking for, how he's overcoming hardship. He's very grateful. So that's the mentality. He's ending off saying that he's very grateful for everything he's been through. You know, we hear that perseverance, that he knows education is something that he's kind of had to go for. You know, deeply cares about his family. Yes, hardworking. Pushed himself through these challenges. You know, I like it. Very selfless. He decided to try and pitch in for his family, right? And now thinking about his resume that we saw, it kind of makes sense why he has those 2 jobs or that 1 job. So he's kind of earning money to help, you know, think for out his family. Also makes sense why he has so many honors and AP classes, because he's always pushing himself. He's kind of going for it. So now we're getting that added information of like, oh, this is why Joseph does that. Or this is why Joseph has that information or does these opportunities. Now also kind of getting that sense of gratefulness. It kind of makes sense as to why Joseph also kind of likes doing community service, or why he has that consistent factor of community service. So we're learning some great information about Joseph. So this is a lot of, I think, or hopefully we agree, you know, a great added value kind of essay. We're learning a lot of added value from these 2 statements. And then because of time, let's go on to our last one. Let's learn a little bit more about Larry. So does anyone want to read Larry for me? No? No stressors. I can be Larry for today.
Oh, we got someone, Eddie.
Oh yeah, I see Priscilla. Go for it, Priscilla.
Due to my parents' parentage.
Oh no, Priscilla. Oh no. It's okay. I understand. I've been there many a times with Zoom.
I'm doing it through Karina's computer now.
Beautiful.
Okay. Due to my parents' separation 4 years ago, I have stepped up and taken on a lot of responsibility to support my mom, transitioning from being a son to a role model for my 14-year-old sister and a supportive partner for my mother has not been easy. Some of my responsibilities are cooking dinner, helping my mother with bills, and taking care of my young sister. I make sure she completes her assignments for school, check her work before it's due, and pick her up from school every day. I have also picked up a second job to help out financially. These responsibilities are aside from being a full-time dual enrollment student. To balance the responsibilities of an adult and student, I had to fail. My grades started to slip and my life was not organized. Taking on new responsibilities challenged me in having to maximize my time to be efficient. Eventually, I found balance. I applied the skills I learned in my AVID class to use time management, which helped me be organized in my daily life. I keep a digital planner to organize my duties of the week and strictly follow it. I set an example by being a role model for my sister and teaching her these skills, emphasizing their importance. My goal to instill in her the value of education, because through education you can open doors to many opportunities. This taught me how to work with children by learning patience and to try multiple approaches to teach information in order to help them understand. Seeking the efforts my mother demonstrates by working all day to provide for my sister and I motivated me to find an extra job to help out. This taught me financial literacy and in the importance of receiving a good education to have a good job that accommodates a comfortable lifestyle. Lastly, cooking for my family allowed me to find a hobby that allows me to have a break from school and enjoy time for leisure. Their separation has positively affected my academic achievement because it taught me the importance of balance in life, and by applying balance to my academic life, I was able to earn good grades.
Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what did we learn for Larry? How are we feeling about Larry? What are we kind of thinking about it? What do we think of his PIQ so far? What's something that we're like, love this? Or like, maybe not so much. I like, for one thing, he's addressing why he has that kind of trend of having C's in one of his years. Remember how I talked about it earlier? He had a year where he had some C's and D's, and then the next year, I like it. He's very honest about failure. I like it the next year, you see him bounce back, and he has those straight A's. He has a strong response, like, I'm gonna, parry that a little bit. He's a selfless, also someone who's very much an organized person. Yes, very organized. Very, very organized. Honest about his shortcomings. I like that. Very authentic with that. I do feel towards the end, it became a little bit of a laundry list. I don't know if maybe that's just me personally, but I felt like he was just kind of going over the list of tasks that he kind of is in charge of, or list of tasks that he kind of has to take part of. So it's kind of going a little bit, at least for me personally, a little bit overboard with that, where, he could talk a little bit more about, continuing on about that pathway with his sister, why that education kind of means so much to him, and why that kind of creating that life in not only him, but also for his sister to kind of go for that. But, I like that. We see why he has the extra job to help out. We learn why. We learn kind of that information. But, it seems like a lot's happening, at least for me. Just me. But, I could be wrong. It's based on how you guys feel. But I like it. I like it. So then, because we have limited time, let's see how we're feeling about our kids. We'll check in. Think as of right now, who's right now on your leaderboard? Who would you admit to this institution? Who are you like, oh my gosh, yes, I need this person? Or who are you like, I'm not sure yet. Or I want everyone to go in. What are we thinking? What are we vibing? Oh, I'm on that. No, keep that in mind. I get Yasmin. I get. I feel it. Yeah. I also like Joseph. To kind of see where that person's coming from and where that student's coming from. But now we have these letters of recommendation, which kind of gives us the opportunity. Oh no, my internet's unstable. Don't be unstable, internet. Please don't. To now hear from someone that kind of works with them consistently and then. So this is a letter rec for Joseph, and I'm just going to read it kind of quickly, just to kind of get that information. So, I have known Jay over the past 3 years as his baseball coach, and most recently his AP English literature teacher at the Port of Los Angeles High School. When I first met Joseph, it was when he began working out with the baseball team during his sophomore year. At our school, we allow anyone who wants to work out with the baseball team to do so during the fall before we hold official tryouts. Right away, Joseph made an impact on me and the other coaches by his work ethic, determination, and desire to learn the game of baseball and make the team, which he did. Awesome. Every day in practice over the last 2 seasons, Joseph has always shown the drive to improve and learn the game of baseball. I can easily say he has been the 2 seasons because of his hard work and dedication to the game. Wow, that's really nice. During this current school year, I have had the pleasure of also being Joseph's teacher in AP English Literature. It's always refreshing to see how my baseball players are in the classroom setting. From day one, Joseph showed me the same drive, work ethic, and determination I see on the baseball field in the classroom. This has been a tough year for seniors because of their entire first semester has been taught virtually, but Joseph did not let that stop him from succeeding in my AP English Literature class. Just AP English Literature. Let me scooch you guys over so I can keep reading. Not only does Joseph excel in my classroom, but he has excelled in all 4 years of his high school career at the Port of Los Angeles High School. Not only does he have one of the highest GPAs at the school, but he is also known to take numerous AP and honors courses throughout his high school career. During senior year, when a lot of seniors went out an easier schedule to finish out the last year of high school, Joseph has challenged himself taking 3 AP courses and 1 honors course during his senior year. This sort of drive to continue to push yourself and expand your knowledge is rarely seen in a high school senior. A lot of students have GPAs and play sports in high school, but what separates Joseph from his peers is his commitment to helping his school and his surrounding community. Not only in the classroom and on the baseball field, but Joseph is also giving his little free time to being an emotional support listener to people who are having trouble during these difficult times through a volunteer group, 7 Cups. He also helps the local Boys and Girls Club in his community, is a cashier at his local church on Sundays, and helps organize and distribute bags of food at the local Harbor Teen Center. When he is not going to school, playing baseball, or volunteering, Joseph is working 2 different jobs, gaining valuable experience, learning how to be a professional in the workplace, learning skills such as customer service, first aid, and how to use technology, apps, and websites that will benefit him in the future. When most kids get jobs at a local fast food restaurant or grocery store, Joseph found jobs that will not only give him work experience, but will teach him valuable skills that he can take with him in the future and in college throughout life. After high school, Joseph wants to become a dentist because he would like to help low-income families be able to afford dental care, which is crucial to the overall health of an individual. As a senior teacher, I sometimes worry about my students if they are going to be okay. They leave high school and go on to college or to the workforce. I know I will not have to worry about Joseph. He is an amazing young man that is so dedicated and goal-oriented. I have no doubt he is going to make all his future dreams and plans come true. I know whatever he ends up doing in his life, he is going to make all of us at the Port of Los Angeles High School proud of the person he has become. I give Joseph my highest recommendation possible. If you would like to discuss Joseph further, do not hesitate to contact me. I like reading this letter of recommendation because it hits everything that you want a letter of recommendation to kind of do. And that's exactly what you're kind of looking for from your teachers right now, as you guys are asking for it. Someone that really knows you well enough to be able to speak about every component for that field. He knows him both on the classroom. He knows them both athletically. And what shows is that Joseph gave this teacher his academic resume. He let this teacher know this is what else I do outside of the classroom so that they can reiterate and validate everything that he put on his application. That's the key thing. You want them to validate. And what makes this teacher such an all-star is that he's really quantifying just how strong of a student is, or trying to make Joseph be very remarkable. From sentences like one of the highest GPAs at our school. He's taking classes where others wouldn't. He has that same mindset on the field as well as on the team. I know that this is a student that I don't have to worry about because he has that recommendation from me. I know that he's going to succeed no matter what. So this recommendation truly is something that, really validates and kind of puts into perspective everything that kind of Joseph is going through and really kind of pushes through in. So that's something that you kind of look for. If you have that connection with the teacher, or hopefully, with someone to be able to kind of add that value to your essays or add that kind of value to your application. Very, very all-star. Very, very beautiful. And we have done this one from Yasmin. This is also an option in case you don't have that connection. You can always, of course, use a Boys and Girls Club staff to be able to talk about their experience with you and what that kind of looks like. And I'm going to read this one even faster, honestly, because, again, time, I don't want to take away too much of your time. So my name is E, and I work at the Port of Los Angeles Boys and Girls Club as a college bound coordinator. I've been working as a youth development professional for a little over 5 years. Our program focuses on supporting youth with high school graduation and building confidence in them to secure their option for life after high school through our program and more specifically intensive one-on-one case management. I have case managed Yasmin for over 2 years now. I am ecstatically and confidently recommend Yasmin as a qualified applicant. I first met Yasmin her junior year of our college-bound workshop as a shy and timid young woman. However, she immersed herself with the Boys and Girls Club. I've come to know Yasmin as a kind, motivated, willing, open-minded, and compassionate student. Yasmin started attending the Boys and Girls Club fresh after deciding to abandon her passion in cheerleading because of a serious cheerleading accident. She comes from a low-income immigrant single-parent household who now had a lot of time on her hands as she had to wait after school for her mom to get off work. Hearing about the Boys and Girls Club through in-class presentations, she decided to try it out to combat her depressive period after sacrificing her favorite after-school activity. Although starting off shy, Yasmin absorbed all of the information within our college-bound weekly workshops, challenging herself academically, taking both college classes and pushing to do honors. Yasmin also started to become more involved with our programming by joining our nationally recognized Keystone organization, building her leadership and developing friendships. Through Keystone, Yasmin was able to find a second home and flourish as a leader, utilizing her skills to become the social media marketing department in charge of not only promoting but creating events. Yasmin dove deeper in our college-bound programming, where she unearthed her educational potential, realizing that she is capable of attending a 4-year institution and discover her career in sports medicine/kinesiology. Yasmin has displayed an openness and willingness to at least try something once because programs or opportunities I advise her, whether it is a scholarship, internships, or programs, she gives it a shot and tries her hardest in her application, showing commitment and eagerness to grow. Let me move you guys real quick. This is best demonstrated with her involvement with the Keystone and Community Service by every week supporting with food packaging and distribution to over 400 families. She has gone above and beyond in helping support every community service event, whether this is promotions, decorations, service, or leadership, and teaching new members how to fit in support. Yasmin is a young leader in the making with her tenacious mentality and compassion for others to help out and be supportive, which is the first thing that hurts about her. She is a kind spirit and always wants the best for others. Wow, so sweet. Yasmin is a low-income first-generation college student striving for her education to be a role model for her mother, carrying the weight of her mother's dreams and aspirations. At a young age, her parents divorced, and her mother has struggled to sustain her household for having 3, having to take out loans, max out credit cards, and worrying about losing housing. Even recently, with the pandemic, Yasmin's mom lost her job, adding more stress to their lives, which caused Yasmin's sister to drop out of community college to work. Seeing that, Yasmin is determined more than ever to succeed in her family's footsteps and make attending a 4-year institution work for her. She has been actively involved in support programs such as tutoring to maintain her grades, writing support, and working on scholarship applications weekly. Yasmin is a qualified applicant as an academically strong student that has been proved not only to her family but herself that she is capable of being a leader but also successful in college by taking college courses. She has discovered her leadership potential and realized that being resourceful and involved with her school and community benefits everyone. She will definitely make an impact with her college, but also the community, and if you have any questions. So this one's also kind of here about and how things are going on in their personal life, to hear kind of that perspective of what's going on for that student in their lives, as well as what external factors maybe don't come up in the application as often. She didn't really talk about those other factors in her statement from what we saw earlier, maybe in one of the other ones, but this kind of adds that factor that and all dualies, again, real quick. It is my honor to write a recommendation letter that will be part of a selection process for Mr. Larry. It is my understanding that a recommendation letter is part of the process for this applicant. I am a retired part-time faculty from the California State University, Los Angeles School of Social Work. Wow, he got a teacher from Cal State LA. My relationship with Mr. Larry is one in which he assisted me in becoming familiar with the software required to teach virtually. At the beginning of March of this year, the pandemic forced Cal State LA to shut down. Several professors, including myself, were forced to adapt to the sudden transition to distance learning. This was because of an issue, because many of us were not trained to provide these online courses. Mr. Larry instructed me in the implementation of social software material on the undergraduate and graduate level classes and the use of virtual technology to transmit the information. His knowledge of virtual technology is expansive, what I observed in his patience while instructing me into a world I was not familiar with. He was willing to repeat himself often enough for me to absorb what he was saying. This was often done by him guiding me through the processes, then having me apply it myself. Mr. Larry has shared with me that he teaches part-time at a computer school in which the students' age ranges between 6 to 16. His pedagogic skills are impressive given that he is only 17. Teaching appeals to Mr. Larry, and he has told me that he would like to teach at a university. The pedagogical skills that he currently possesses would be enhanced and expanded by the opportunities from this school. So this is something that he mentioned within his resume, so you can see the validation that he did help out Cal State LA teachers with getting ready for the pandemic. And it really just talks about how he has that skill set to be a great computer software engineer, to work greatly within that. It also talks about what some of his other future plans are. It doesn't really talk about him as a person, but it just talks about, I guess a little bit. But, that's what we're kind of learning about it. So given that we have all this information, we've kind of heard about all of our kids, what is our final tally? What is what we're thinking of? Who is our final person that we are going to stick with and commit to, and why? Who is that final person? What are we thinking? No, you can't choose all three. You have to choose one. Who stood out to you the most and why? I know they're all very interesting people. No, unfortunately, you gotta go down one. Yeah. You guys love them all? I like it. I like it. Is there anyone that stood out to you the most where you're like, oh, this one just kind of inched a little bit higher than the others? I know, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. But essentially, this is how the process kind of is when it comes to applying to colleges. You're reading these things, you're learning about these students, and you're kind of gaining this little perspective. It may be that, Larry missed an opportunity to talk about his other personal statements. In his other statements, he talked about something totally different and didn't really address any of his growth or answer the questions. And that could be what, like it, Destiny Garcia is choosing. Okay, showed who she was as a person. Nice. I like it. There's no clear-cut answer, just like we as staff can't tell you or predict the future, because it's really going to be dependent and contingent on who's reading that application, who's understanding or getting that perspective from you. But one of the nice things that I can say, well, first before that, some of the additional factors that maybe has to go into consideration is that STEM GPA. How do they do math and sciences? Do they meet the requirements for the schools? How are the additional statements? Does it give more context to that person? How much did they challenge themselves? What are they kind of going for there? Was there any remediation? But even beyond that, what are we kind of looking for this year? How can it kind of fit? What's that kind of goal that we're kind of hoping to attain? But one thing that I can guarantee you that each and every one of these students did is that they went to the Boys and Girls Club and they had that consistent review. Each one of them had their essays edited multiple times to get it polished, to get it looked at. And they spoke and made that commitment to speaking to others to get those strong letters of recommendation, from the one Joseph got, even from the one that Larry got. It had his nuances of being able to highlight that experience and really talk about his character and being able to succeed for that future. I like it. Yasmin stood out the most. I like it. And in all honesty, Yasmin had a lot of success when she was applying to her colleges and university. Joseph by a slim margin. I like it. It's tough decisions, it's tough calls, but it all kind of comes into play. It's looking about all the kind of different factors and what each campus is looking for. Because again, it's also about the individual fit, whether that campus is really targeting or really kind of harshly looking at those academic goals or what those extracurricular activities are, what their academic achievement, what other factors were out there. Even looking at these applications and more, just remembering their grades, multiple drafts of the PIQs, just a little advice to kind of really polish that application. Because at the end of the day, what really made it shine was that context. What made you fall in love was learning a little bit more about who they are. That's what made this decision so hard, I think. It's just learning more about who they are as a person and who they kind of go about. And that's our goal right now, to kind of really convey who we are as people, to validate and kind of bring those experiences. So when you're writing these personal statements, as you're writing these drafts, make sure you're sitting down with your case manager so that we can help you out, because we want to help you secure that amazing future. That's something that all of these students did, from helping build upon that resume. Yasmin's had a really impressive resume, helping really kind of build upon it. I hear you guys that it's a tie between Yasmin and Joseph because they had that extra nudge, they had that extra work ethic, they had that extra confirmation. Larry was lacking more of that kind of motivation, kind of like what's kind of going through him, or adding that. He's kind of lost a little bit of that personal touch with his application. So, giving that personal touch, really showcasing who you are and what you want to showcase, or that person walking away learning about you. So I kind of hope this helped, kind of hope this kind of brought things together. But if you guys have any questions, now is the time to kind of ask for it and to kind of bring it all together. Again, send in those forms if you guys can, so that you guys can get a raffle drawing for that golden ticket. Send them to your coordinator, give that extra little shout out, because it is that season for applications. But feel free, if you guys have any questions, by all means, comments, concerns, stressors. But if not, I hope to see you all at the team summit. I expect to see you all at your centers working on applications, as we're all happily reading essays. So fun. And helping you polish so that next year, you guys have the same predicaments and we have all these issues and they just want to accept everyone. And you know what happens? It really does happen. That's the same issue USC has been having for the past 2 years, accepting so many people, even though they can't fit these people, because of how strong their applications are. So that's what we want to be doing, right? We want to make sure that we break the curve, make them accept more people, even though they shouldn't be, because of how strong they are. But thank you all so much, and have a lovely Wednesday night. Bye-bye. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Make sure you guys think about who you want to get your recommenders. That's also the same deal for scholarships. What you learned today is the same way it comes down for scholarships. Who would you rather give the money to? Same deal, same stressors. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a lovely day. Don't forget, what am I thankful for contest. Turn it into your coordinators. What you're thankful for in any creative way possible. A song, music, a play, everything in between. All of that stuff is good. And you're getting prizes. Always, always, always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lovely, lovely Wednesday. Bye.
Thank you, Eddie. Awesome job, Eddie. Thank you.
Eddie, did you say Friday?
I did say Friday, but it's Wednesday.
He's already thinking about the weekend.
Eddie can't wait for Teen Summit to meet Regina.
I know, it's going to be so fun. It's going to be a party.
But who's looking forward to Thanksgiving though? Thanksgiving food, because I am.
That means a lot.
Christmas.
That's a lot of cooking.
Can't wait for that week off, guys. Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday.
Oh, that's a lot of cooking. I don't know about that.
I don't know about cooking, but I know it's gonna be a lot of eating on me.
A whole lot of eating.
And then there's all the dishes you have to clean up after. Ooh, I don't know about that. No. It's easier when it's like, you know, the end of the year holidays, because all you have to do is just throw away the paper or throw away things. You don't have to wash dishes or things like that. But oh well. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Peace out.
Bye, guys.